name is Ankita Gupta. I'm from Delhi. I studied at DPS Arkipuram. I secured an All India rank of 64 in CLAT 2017 and I was a classroom student at CLAT Possible Delhi. I think I was more or less fixated on law when I was very young, like about class 4. And because I had a very idealistic dream of becoming the Prime Minister of India, and I thought that law would be the most intellectually stimulating way of doing that. And a part of that dream is still intact. I do see myself working for the government in some capacity, either as a civil servant or by joining politics. And I think law will form the perfect foundation for that. So I think I was just pursuing that dream when I decided to write the CLAT exam. So what I did was, when I started preparing, I began writing mocks, and I kind of realized that I did not have to study every section topic by topic. And I believe that I would waste a lot of time if I decided to do that. So whether it was English or math or even logical for that matter, I only focused on those topics which I found tough. And I think the key to cracking the CLAT exam is to write mocks after mocks, because you see yourself improving and you do realize the topics that need time. And if I had to go section wise, English, I think the main thing with English is vocabulary and foreign words. The rest of it is purely basic English, which I think most people can handle. When it came to math, I've always had an aptitude for math, so I didn't find the section too hard to handle, but there were a few topics which I focused on, so I gave those like 2-3 hours each and I was done with math. Then I think other than legal and GK, it's more or less an aptitude-based paper. So the real studying aspect comes in legal and general knowledge. So I think the maximum time you must devote to GK. And for me, the compendiums provided by CLAT Possible were more or less sufficient, since the paper was more or less just a current affairs based paper. In fact, it was just a current affairs paper. There wasn't a single question of static GK. So I spent hours at a stretch reading the compendiums one after the other, and by the end of it, I had a good idea of what happened throughout the year, and that worked for me. As far as legal is concerned, I think the key to solving the legal section is just past year papers, and past year papers not just once but twice, because once you do that, you don't just solve the questions, but you kind of get a grasp of the entire format of the paper. So I think that's how you crack legal. And other than that, I think the key to the paper is to understand that it's an aptitude based paper, and it's not a paper where if you spend 9 hours a day you're going to crack it. It's about formulating a strategy right at the beginning and following it through. So I think that's what works. So I think the reason why I joined CLAT Possible was because it undoubtedly has the best faculty in the country, and I'm someone who learns much better in a classroom than by poring over books, and I think the classroom program at CLAT Possible did just that for me. And I think right till the very end, our mentors were not just teaching us their subject, but kind of keeping us motivated till the end. Very honestly, I was an emotional wreck a week before CLAT. And it was my mentors who constantly told me that if you could do it 2 months ago, you can still do it. And that's what made me go write the CLAT exam with much more confidence than I was the week before. And I think as far as the online material is concerned, I think whether it's the compendiums or it's the mocks, I think they are very, very comprehensive. And I think what CLAT Possible has done is not just taught us what is required for CLAT, but has cracked the exam in its entirety. And I think that is why I could crack it while preparing for class 12 at the same time, without feeling overburdened, or at the same time feeling like I'm writing something which is like an unending pool. So I think what CLAT Possible did was exactly what I wanted, allow me to do smart work over hard work. So I think the key to writing any exam, whether it's CLAT or your board exams or any competitive exam for that matter, it is that you need to understand that there is no one size fits all. Everyone needs to figure out a strategy for themselves, and that is exactly what I did. For me, I know that sitting for long hours at a stretch is not my thing. So I continue to do everything else that I did for the past few years, whether it was inter-school debating, taking part in school functions, or just having fun. And I think that is what made me clear the exam rather than it being the other way around. So I think for all those CLAT aspirants for next year, just continuously write mocks, figure out a strategy for yourself, and don't give up on that dream.